Ladies love a large bone dart. Let's do it. There you got your intro. Hey, welcome to episode 151 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Paul.
Hi.
And Blake.
Hey, Nick. Good to be here.
How's it going, guys? You know what was weird is just then my brain was like, I don't need to say anything else because you guys need to say hi. But that's why there was a delay as I was like...
Have we ever... We've never done it that way.
No.
You've always introed us.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You've never left us
I don't want
to
you.
intro ourselves.
I want to do all the talking is what it is.
I know.
Shh. I'm talking.
I know. It's the Nick cast.
How you going?
How are you doing, Nick? Tell us all about you.
I'm all right.
Yeah?
You guys been playing stuff? I can talk about what I've been playing. I know that you guys have been playing something because I've been playing a little bit of it as well.
All right. Well, I guess you should start on what...
Right. We've all been playing an idle game. No, I'm kidding.
You wish. You wish. That would be your
you know
dream.
what? You know what, though?
Get us to play an idle game.
You know what, though? I kind of feel like we have all been playing an idle game.
Yeah.
The game, or I know for a fact we've all been playing, is Diablo Immortal.
Mm-hmm.
A very hot button topic amongst gamers at the moment. How you guys feeling about it? Paul, start with you.
I haven't been playing it. I played it a bunch for a couple days, and then I've just been playing it off and on since. But I think it's fun.
Yep.
Like, just the arcadey combat of it is fun.
Yeah.
There doesn't feel like there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Blake, how do you feel about it?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Like I played it till I don't think I even made it to level 20.
Yeah, so you haven't even unlocked a lot of the systems yet.
I guess not, but I certainly unlocked the cash shop.
Yep.
And
But I don't think you've even unlocked some of the cash shop
oh my
systems
god.
yet.
But yeah, it was fun. I found it fun. Like I played it for probably like, I don't know, 2 days last week. And I found it pretty fun until I'm just like, what am I doing? I just felt, I don't know. It's got that thing that some action RPGs have where you are just doing the same thing over and over. And you've got like,
Uh-huh.
I basically got my abilities down, my
rotation.
rotation. And I'm just doing that over and over.
Yep.
And I just kind of got tired of it. And also there's the added thing of just like it throwing in your face saying like, claim this reward, do like,
Yeah.
like
Open some menus.
yeah.
Click some buttons.
Yeah, I know. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, red dots.
when I'm doing that,
Everyone loves red dots.
when I'm doing that, it's like, here, claim this thing. So I claim it. I'm like, I literally don't know what that is. I have no clue at any of the stuff that it's telling me to claim.
I got a bunch of hilts. What are hilts?
I don't know. There was stuff that's like, oh, you finished like you finished this area, claim a reward for it, and I clicked on it, and it's like, congratulations. I'm like, I don't even know what I got for doing that.
You got hilts, probably.
I don't know what hilts are. I don't know what anything is.
Or battle pass points.
Also,
Or you're allowed to buy something new from the shop.
yeah. Also, their gear. I couldn't tell you what stats my gear has at all. I could not tell you.
Yeah.
Because all you do is look at the arrow, the green arrow that points up, and you just equip that, and you don't even look at what the stats are. The game has just told you these are the best stats.
Yep.
So I have literally no clue what I'm wearing.
Yep.
Compare that. I'm sorry. Compare that to Path of Exile, where you're very aware of what you're wearing.
Yeah. Okay. So you love it?
It's best game ever. 5 out of 7.
I have a lot of thoughts about this game. First of all, I want to ask you guys what classes you're playing.
I'm playing Necromancer.
Necromancer?
Oh, Necro as well.
You're both Necromancer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm playing a Barbarian.
Yeah.
And I had previously played in the closed beta. Back when I guess it would have been more than a year ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I feel like I talked about it on the podcast.
Maybe.
I played a monk previously, and so here's some thoughts about Diablo Immortal. Very forgettable, as it turns out.
Oh yeah.
Because I played basically the campaign, the full campaign, up
Yeah.
until like there's like a swamp area, which I feel like is probably like
Okay.
5/7 of the full campaign.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's after the library, Zoltun,
Yeah.
or whatever. So I cleared all of that content and had no recollection of any of
Wow.
the story. So I'm playing through it again, going, I know I've done this, but I don't remember any.
You
of
don't-
this. Like I remember the areas.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the story beats.
You don't think they've changed the story?
I don't
Can
think
you
so.
tell like at all if they've changed it?
There might be some changes to it,
Yeah.
but if they've changed the story, it has had no lasting impact
Wow.
one way or the other, really.
Well, I guess the
might
fact
have
that
skipped every story thing whenever it gave me the opportunity to, so I have no
Yeah.
idea what it's about.
I tried
at all.
to. I was
Mm.
paying attention originally, and then I was like, this is boring, and these characters are dumb.
yeah,
I'm
that's
glad I
kinda-
skipped it then.
that's kind of how I felt as well. Like I was just, I felt like I was just going through the motions of, talk to this guy. Oh, kill these undead, or go over here and
Yeah.
and do a thing, and I was just, I don't know, it just didn't seem. The story just wasn't interesting to
No.
me. It was just, it felt generic.
It's very
And
generic.
it makes sense because it's a mobile game, sure. So maybe the story isn't their like
Okay.
big thing, but
It's got too much story for a mobile game.
Here's the thing.
it
though.
does have the most story of a mobile game.
I had
Yeah,
to skip that
it
thing
really
so many
does.
times.
Well, I've played a lot of mobile games with story, much better story,
Yeah.
better executed, more interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
This game is boring. It
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense that it's a Diablo game, other than the fact that you grind gear. That's
Mm.
the only.
Also, you grind gear that ultimately you don't care about.
Yep.
Because it's just you're grinding for green arrows.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's let's talk a little bit. I mentioned that we'd all been playing an idle game.
Mm.
I wasn't completely lying here, because as you clear certain areas in Diablo, you unlock the capacity to auto navigate.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can just tap on your UI and
Oh,
it'll bring
jeez.
your character over to a location, and then if you're holding down your attack button, your character tends to sort of move in the direction of the nearest enemy.
Wow.
So
So it doesn't for me.
within,
guess
within,
because I'm a
within a general
necromancer.
radius,
Mm.
I think. Or is the necromancer ranged?
Yeah.
Does it target?
Not
Automatically?
automatically. No, not unless I move around.
Okay.
But also, we're all playing it on PC, right?
No, I'm
no,
playing
I'm
on
playing
phone.
on mobile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why would I play a mobile game on PC?
I
That
played it
doesn't
on
make any sense.
PC, and in fact, the first time I played it, I used a Xbox controller and put it on my TV.
Okay. And how was that?
That was I was just thinking because that auto movement thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think there's some problem with how that interacts with the controller
Okay.
because it would often just like start moving on its own.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not. I thought it was the controller, but like that doesn't happen in any of my other games.
The auto navigate is something you specifically have to like toggle on, as in like you tap the screen, or you
Right.
tap an
Well,
objective, and it'll.
yeah.
I
well,
ended up.
normally it would bring up footsteps. Once you've cleared all the objectives in an area, it'll be like, okay, I'll just take you there.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I went into the menu and there was a option for like auto, what is it, like auto walking or something like that,
Okay.
and I turned that off.
Yeah.
Just
sorted itself out.
Yeah, fixed it.
Interesting. Maybe that was.
I think it's just a weird like compatibility thing with the
Huh.
controller
Well,
because I've not had that problem with any with the mouse at all.
right. So there's that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Then there's like the daily grind kind of
The
thing.
chores.
Mm.
You've got and they've got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Which I find is interesting. They've got the bounty board, which I'm not sure you've necessarily unlocked
I
yet.
don't think so.
Which is for basically kill or fetch quests at a time, and you can do 16 of them a day, and they give you a bunch of rewards.
Hmm.
And then you've got your rift. You've got your I guess elder rift, which is where you can spend runes or crests. And they give you one a day.
Mm.
And I think you can maybe get them from drops as well.
I had a bunch that I don't know where I got them from. They were probably rewards for something.
Yeah, you also get them from as quest rewards, like achievements, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think you get them through the free battle pass as well.
Yeah, and the paid battle pass. There are so many different currencies in this game, by the way. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through them real quick. You've got gold. Pretty straightforward. Eternal orbs. I'm not sure what these are for. I think it's a premium. I think it's specifically how
They're
you
the
buy
purple
premium
things?
stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Then you got platinum, which I believe is another premium currency. Although I think you can maybe get some platinum from like daily activities at a certain point.
Right.
I definitely got some of that. No idea where from.
Then you get like these embers from doing elder rifts with crests. Then you got crests themselves, which are also a currency,
Mm.
of which there's multiple different types. Then you've got whatever you break your gear down into, which is like scrap and then essence and then dust.
Yeah, there's
and,
two.
like,
Yeah,
and,
there's
like,
2 or 3 of those as well.
ooze,
Yep.
Different Ikers.
Yep.
Uh,
And there's ones for a separate one for charms as well.
yep.
When you break down charms.
Yep. And then there's also the runes that you get from doing elder rifts with crests that you can spend to get legendary gems.
Yep.
That's a lot of currencies.
There's a lot.
Uh,
There's a lot to keep you busy, though.
Now,
right?
of course, Path of Exile also has a lot of currencies, but each of these currencies holds their own like internal function. Like they are a thing that you use it to do a thing
Yeah.
on top of it being a currency.
Mm.
So it's just a lot of currencies, and it feels like it's intentionally obscuring the, like kind of surface level economy of you can spend money to get all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, like the main one, right, is still going to be gold, because gold is gold, right? Like
Yeah.
it's an ARPG. You've got a bunch of gold.
Sure.
What do you do with it?
Yeah. Well, this is the eternal problem of any
I've got so much gold. I have
Yeah.
no idea what to do with it.
the costs of like upgrading your gear go up so fast that's where all my gold tends to go. Like there's like that upgrade function.
Yeah.
And you need scrap and maybe you don't use gold anymore. You used to need gold as well as scrap and whatever else.
So you do, but it also requires the other things, and the
Yeah.
other things are way
That's true, actually.
rarer.
Yeah.
So, and then because you can transfer the upgrade of your gear to
Yep.
your new gear you get,
Which is dumb. Like
you just never spend gold. I found one vendor where you can gamble for like rare items.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, maybe that's where it was. Yeah. I think that is
But,
where
like-
my gold ended up going back
Yeah.
in the day. Now I haven't got up to that part. I don't think I'm only level 35 in the live version, but in the like beta, I got quite far and quite
Yeah.
deep and was doing like Torment 3 or whatever
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
dungeons and like whatever the highest level of content was in the beta.
When you were in the beta, what was keeping you playing?
Mostly curiosity to see if it got better.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of thoughts about this game. Let's talk about the combat real quick. Okay, you guys, what skills were you using?
I was using. Well, actually, you're a necro. So,
Mm.
what skills were you using? I wonder if they're the same.
For the most part, I'm actually using the starter ones.
Yeah.
Because the gear that I found upgraded those. But Corpse Detonate Dead, whatever
Yeah.
version of
Corpse Explosion.
is by far my highest damage skill.
Oh yeah. Are you?
So mostly I kill a few things and then spam Corpse Explosion.
Were you using that like scythe sweep that hits a
Yeah,
bunch
so
of
that's quite
targets?
good if you hit like a pack twice,
Yeah.
you kill a couple, and then you just Corpse Explode
Well,
the rest.
Yeah. It also, like you sweep, and it also whether or not even if it doesn't kill anything, a corpse just plops down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you
I
can.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, you can basically my spell rotation is just like use that sweep, corpse explode,
Mm.
and then
And then chain corpse explode until there's no more corpses. left.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if I need some more corpses and I don't have any, just use
Sweep
that
and blow.
sweep, and then sweep and blow,
Sweep and blow.
sweep and blow. It's
Yep.
the old sweep and blow move.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I know it well. So I'm playing a barbarian, and I have like a leap thing, I have a cleave thing, and I have a whirlwind thing, and a fourth thing. But the thing that I think is the most powerful is the auto attack,
Right.
which seems dumb.
That is.
Yeah.
That does seem dumb.
So my auto attack's also pretty good.
Yeah. Here's the I don't know about the necromancer. Does it have a like a recovery mechanic? Like if you take damage, how do you recover your damage besides potions?
Just potions.
Okay. Because the barbarian, at least the auto attack, leeches a portion of the health.
Oh.
Right.
And so often, if I'm in a boss fight, I spam my like highest single hit damage skills or whatever,
Hmm.
and then I just auto attack because that's the safest move. And I don't
Wow.
worry about like the thing. I don't worry much about whirlwind. I don't
Yeah.
worry much about anything that's like AOE at all. Because I mean, AOE is going to be dumb in a boss fight.
Mm.
Yeah.
But auto attack tends to also the auto attack hits multiple targets, so it ends up like leeching quite a lot of health. So it's quite a shallow combat.
Does it have that same thing where the default attack does a small amount of splash damage?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also has a limit break mechanic where as I'm default attacking, I'm building up a meter, which unlocks like a critical skill sort of thing.
Yep.
Which just makes my default attack bonkers for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, Necro has that as well.
Yeah. So like it's the game definitely wants you to default attack to the detriment of the other skills, in my opinion. And it might just be a problem with melee classes, because this was also the case of the monk back when I played the monk.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what is really the purpose of the other skills if the safest and often highest damage skill is the default attack?
Yeah.
Now I did get some legendary gear, which maybe it has made things a little skewed towards the other direction, where like my whirlwind now spits out little tornadoes that do damage. But
So I found a legendary piece of equipment that made my auto attack chain one more time, which
yeah,
is really quite handy.
Yeah.
Because you get not just the splash damage off the initial hit, but it
Uh-huh.
chains off and does splash damage again. Still nowhere near as much damage as Corpse Explosion when you've got enough mobs around, though.
Yeah.
So most of me playing is running around and auto attacking a few things, trying to gather them up to just blow up the
Interesting.
lot of them.
Yeah. And you've been playing quite a lot. You've hit the level cap, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. But there's a whole bunch of Paragon stuff
course.
afterwards. So I'm only like 2 or something in that.
Yeah. I remember trying to grind out the Paragons, and they're quite small stat bonus things, right?
They've got trees.
Maybe
You
they
spend each
changed.
point in these little trees that I haven't properly looked into yet. I've unlocked 2 of the trees and I've put all my points into plus damage.
Yep. Let's talk about the gear a little bit. So, yeah, Blake, you mentioned the gear.
Yep. I mean, yep.
And you said you don't remember any of the stats.
No, I couldn't tell you.
Paul, do
Hmm.
you remember any of the stats in your gear?
No, I know what the legendary increases are.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's the only relevant thing.
Exactly. Yes. Now,
And also all white, blue, and yellow items are redundant.
yes.
Like, why do they exist?
Yes. Yes. This is a classic problem of modern Diablo, in that the legendaries are statistically better than all, like each rarity tier is better than the last.
Yep.
And worse than that, I think, in some ways, is the fact that legendaries are not bound to a specific level in this game. So, by contrast, Path of Exile has lots of low-level uniques, and builds often use these low-level uniques because they offer unique properties. Legendaries in Diablo, you can get the same legendary dropped at level 30 as you can get at level 60. All the only difference is the raw stats on them. The legendary property doesn't change. So
yeah, and it's kind of worse than that too, because you can get a different unique drop, and then you can just transfer the abilities of the one you're using to the new one that dropped. So if that has the skill you want, you just transfer it to the new thing you found. You get like an automatic upgrade, but you're still using the same item as if it dropped now.
Yep. It's really silly. It's always like, what's the biggest number?
Yep.
What's the green arrow? Exactly what you said. What's the green arrow telling me to do?
Yeah,
always follow the green arrow.
Just always follow the green arrow. Because Diablo 3 had that same problem with gear. It was just, you're just looking at arrows.
Yes, it got a little more complicated once you started factoring in sets and set bonuses, where it's like you don't necessarily need a full set to get the
Sure,
set bonus
but like,
that you want,
how far into the game do you start encountering that?
Yeah.
That, you know, like
fair point.
in PoE, it's almost right from the start you're comparing gear.
Yes. No, it's a bad system. They've also got not crests. It's like I think you mentioned it before. It's like glyphs or something. It's an item that augments a skill. you know what I'm talking about?
Uh,
Not runes, not
It-
crests. It's
so
it is
it's
Oh
the
my God.
property of the
How many of
legendary,
these
though, isn't it?
no, I don't think so. So I got a thing. Oh, maybe I got one that is like causes my cleave skill to deal like 2% more damage, and it's like a 1 by 1 item.
Oh, the charms.
Charms. Yes.
Charms.
Thank
yep,
you.
yep.
Yes. That is arguably the most interesting system in the game, and the bonus is so small as to basically be negligible.
Yep.
Like,
Also, those things really suck. Like, so I had you get a few of them while playing.
yeah.
Only one of the ones I found was for Necromancer. Everything else was for a different class.
Oh,
and
yeah,
this
I
is the
forgot
only
that can be
thing
a
in the
thing.
game that where you start
Yeah.
getting things for other classes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's right.
So I trash all the other ones to get the specific currency for upgrading charms.
Uh-huh.
And then I go to the vendor that upgrades the charms to get another thing added.
Uh-huh.
And it adds a barbarian thing.
Oh, what?
So I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay,
right.
I'll do it again. It adds a paladin one.
Yeah.
What?
And
Yeah.
I managed to get the only charm I had 4 different properties on it for
Yeah.
4 completely different classes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's so
That's-
silly.
That's,
No,
that's
also,
actually
like-
probably bad.
It's also like max level exclusive, right? Like,
Yeah, you've got to be, I think,
50?
56
Oh my
or
God.
something to
It's-
even use them.
yeah. So it's not what it kind of originally appears as like, okay, well, here's my reason to roll a new class. Except you're not going to use it until you max level.
Yeah,
the class.
yeah.
It's like, what is
Wow.
the point of this?
And it really is only 2% damage.
It's
or
really
something.
the
Oh my God.
tiniest little boost. And maybe if you get 1,000 of these and you scrap them and upgrade them, you might get one that has 2 or 3 properties for the same class and might be decent.
Jeez.
But like, that's the best thing in the
Yeah.
game in terms of like an interesting item system, and it's so frustrating and stupid.
It takes up inventory space,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
okay, have you guys made any choices other than like what skill you want to use? The only
I had to choose which shield I wanted because there was 2 that had different legendary bonuses that were interesting. That completely changed the way a skill that I was going to use would behave.
the same skill.
No, different
Okay.
skills.
Gotcha.
So one of them was causing the auto attack to chain,
Yeah.
and the other one would turn my a skill I wasn't using, the summon skeletal mages,
Yeah.
into a grim reaper or something, which
Okay.
sounded awesome, and I
Yeah.
was really struggling to choose the
That's
auto
cool.
attack thing.
But ultimately, all it becomes is like, which of these skills ultimately is better
Yeah,
with this change?
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's not really a lot of choice there. If that's the best choice you've made in the whole game,
and
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get that. That was a like battle pass reward or something
my
as
God.
well
wow. Okay.
from the free battle pass.
Yeah.
What is okay? I've not engaged with the cash stuff. What is the battle pass? What is that?
Battle Pass. It's like other games where you the actions of the game earn points. Points level up this like a reward system.
Right.
So, for the free version, you usually get some coins and some hilts or whatever.
Yeah.
What the hell are hilts?
Hilts are I think those are the currency I didn't mention.
There's another currency.
It's coins from a specific vendor. I think. Well,
Oh,
one
okay.
Well, that's
guy.
the one that allows you to buy gems, though, right?
I think something like that.
Right.
But then there's also the lady that crafts gems based on the runes you have.
Hmm.
So, anyway,
It's a game that you explain it, and it sounds like there's so much going on.
but it's
But-
also surface level.
Yeah, but when you play it, you just feel like there's not a lot going on,
No.
really. Like,
Oh, actually, there is a different system I forgot about. And it's the dumbest name in the world. The Heliquary.
whoa, what?
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Oh, it's the cringiest name in the world. Okay, there's a Heliquary, and I haven't really engaged with it for good reason. But as far as I can tell, you are given specific bosses to hunt, and then you can you'll get like a body part from the boss,
Yeah.
and it gives like passive bonuses when it's in the Heliquary, which is just like I guess another
Like
another stat
So
holding
you
system.
don't even need to like hunt a boss. It just teleports you to the arena and it's a boss fight.
Oh,
You
okay.
you don't need to like run around or think.
I
About
thought it
things.
was-
Oh,
It just
so-
teleports you
I-
in.
'cause I
So
have
the
a-
thing that sounds fun, they're just like, nah.
It was kind of an interesting boss fight,
Let's just make the boss fight.
but
That's it.
not good.
I think I know the boss fight you're talking about. It's an 8-person boss fight, right?
Yeah.
So this is the reason I haven't engaged with the system much.
Oh.
There's a quest line associated with it. It's like step 1 is go to this thing, and like there's, I want to say 15 minutes of back and forth dialogue where you're like, you interact with an object, a character talks to you, you talk to the character, the character tells you to go and talk to Deckard Cain, you go and talk to Deckard Cain, you run back to the first person, you interact with this object again, you talk. It's just like nothing important is happening from a gameplay standpoint, and then it's like, oh, okay, now you're doing like a dungeon run inside of the city. And then that's over, and then it's like, okay, now go do an Elder Rift. And that's over, and then it's like, okay, now do an 8-person boss fight. And I don't want to play with other people.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it.
Yeah.
But that's the only way to like progress this thing. So it's really
the playing with other people part of that is not really an engaged kind of playing with other people though. You just hit the party finder thing. And
and then
it sends
you
you
all-
in and you fight stuff with other people.
Yeah.
But they could be NPCs. You wouldn't really know.
But like the rest of the game it scales the difficulty based on the number of players in your group.
Yep.
Why did they not do that for this? It's like it just forces you to play with other people to be like, by the way, we've got a whole warband system where you can group 8 players who play together can play together all the time if they want.
There's also 2 or 3 completely different kinds of like
systems,
guild
basically.
systems.
Yeah.
And I still don't know
There's
what
like-
they are. Or
There's like
why.
a clan, which I think is like your big. I don't. Maybe it's not called a clan. But
Yeah,
you've
and then
you've
there's
your
war
big,
bands.
yeah. You've got your big group of like however many players, and then you got your war band, which is like a permanent smaller group of people who play together regularly.
Oh,
Get
I
And then you've got a
Yeah, yeah.
party, which at most can be 4 people.
A party can just be like people you meet, though, right? They don't.
It's
Right. But if
generally-
you're, I kind of like that idea because, like, in World of Warcraft, I always used to party with my same group.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
Group of friends.
Make a guild.
We did.
Yeah,
But
do you need a separate smaller guild within that guild?
Yeah, because the guild because sometimes guilds get too big.
Okay.
You know, guilds can have like hundreds of people in, and you're like, I really only want to play with like these like 4 people.
Right. So make a party.
Yeah, but then you can get bonuses. I'm on board with this idea. I like it. I like this idea.
And then
Okay, how many
wider than that
more
even-
divisions do you want though? Should it be a 16-person thing as well? Should there be a thing for 2,000 people?
Who has 16 friends? Get out. Like nobody has. Yeah, that's a good point.
We're all adults.
Nobody has 8 friends.
So I've played this game solo the whole time.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'd be interested to see a stat on like how people play this thing like solo or party, like what the percentage of solo
I would
people.
guess the great majority is solo.
Yeah.
Except for this small sliver where they have to do an 8-man fucking
Yeah.
fight.
So I've done a bunch of the random partying
Oh yeah.
for queuing for dungeons because
Yeah.
one of the things that does really suck about the game is that there's only quests at certain levels.
Yeah.
And I played most of the time I've played during one weekend a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
Last weekend?
Yeah.
Maybe the one before. But it's once you get to like level 30 and you've done all your dailies for that day,
Yeah.
Yep.
and you've done all your quests up until that point, you need to just grind.
Oh yeah.
And one of the best ways to grind
Oh my God.
is to go into one of the random dungeons that you can repeat, join up with a party of 4 people, never communicate with them, and just keep running that
hold
dungeon.
down that auto attack.
Because through doing the dungeon, you get points towards your battle pass.
yeah.
And every
Oh,
time your
yeah.
battle pass goes up, you get a shitload of
Yeah.
XP.
Wow.
Like a shitload.
Yeah. Yep. By the way, the game is so badly tuned that you around level 30, you finish this desert area, and they're like, okay, the next area is called the Library of Zoltan Kull or whatever, and by the way, you need to be level 35, so go grind.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The game literally just says, this area is recommended for a level higher than you are. Go grind. Here's some things you can grind.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's not cool.
Yeah, imagine if Path of Exile was like, okay, well, congrats on beating Malachi.
Yeah.
The next area is pretty hard, so maybe just hang out here for a bit.
It's just run through this area. I don't know, another three or four
grind
times.
aqueducts. Like I get that people grind aqueducts, but
it's a choice.
We do have that
Yeah.
at one point though.
Huh?
We do kind of have that at one point before you go into maps.
We
You do kind of need to hit a certain level there before you can really do that.
It used to be much worse for sure, but okay, the game doesn't specifically say there's this big level gap. You can go in and you can still grind maps. You just can't do like hard maps. You can't like do rare maps necessarily.
Yeah.
You'll probably get maps that are eventually you'll get like level 69, level 70, level 71 maps or whatever, and you'll start struggling. But you can
No, but there we've got Katava as a check, right?
Yeah.
That checks that you can kill him.
Yeah.
Where everything up until that point you can do roughly without checks. You can pretty much run through till that point, but that's the first point where it's like a real test of stats and
you can kill Kitava with a low level character. It is still a mechanical fight. The ads are probably the biggest problem in that fight.
Well, I guess it's also a DPS check though.
I guess because of the ads coming in sort of regularly. Like there's nothing there that's like you didn't kill this fast enough, you can't progress.
True.
If you're a very good player, you can avoid most of the damage coming from Kitava directly, and you can avoid most of the damage coming from his ads. The only thing is that the ads will keep coming in, and there is like an extra layer of complexity from the ads.
Yeah.
Is it more just like a test of the actual viability of the build that you've picked at that point?
Somewhat.
Or would
a lot
you
of
already
builds
know by
don't
then?
really come online until later.
Right.
But also, I want to say, generally, when you get to Kitava, you're around about level 65, 66, 67, 68, whatever it is, like, that you should be to start getting into maps. Usually, when I get to that level, I'm actually, like, in low 70s, because I tend to kill a lot of the things along the way. But
I try to
like,
rush through as fast as... And that's still slow compared to, like, people that are actually good at it.
Yes. Yeah, but even when you're rushing, the like way the experience multiplier works means that you hit the appropriate level pretty quickly when you're under leveled for a zone. So I don't know. I don't think we certainly don't have that problem at this point in that game. We don't have in the middle of the campaign the game saying there's a big level gap here.
Yeah,
we forgot to fill in the content. It's just so weird.
I mean, that is nuts. It's more like going from, like basically like what you just said. You go from the end of Act 4.
Yeah.
And before you get to Act 5, they just say, "Oh, actually, there's like
it's
like a massive level gap between these acts,
right.
And so you don't really have anything to do other than repeat what you've already done."
It's as if Act 4 ended at level 30.
Yeah.
And Act 5 started at level 35.
Yeah.
That just doesn't. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is. I would say that is weird. I have like I'm.
And the UI has to be like, go do something else for a while. Here's some suggestions.
Just reach level 35.
Literally go replay old content.
Oh no. I was thinking there's like this is sort of off topic, I suppose, but do you remember you've played Morrowind?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you remember there was a point in that game in the main story where early on where one of the guys is like, you do a quest for a guy and he's like, "All right, I got some other jobs for you, but they're pretty tough, so you should probably go and get some experience before that."
Yeah.
But that is also a giant open world where
Yes.
you can do anything, and
Sure.
it gives you as a player a chance to experience the world.
Yes.
It's not a linear thing.
I'm pretty sure that he says that regardless of your actual level.
Oh, really?
I think so. It might be tied to reputation or something.
I don't remember. I just remember at the time being like, "Wow, that's really cool," because it felt like just a point where I could go off from the main story.
It's actually, to me, that's such a it's interesting because you could use that as a similar example of like, okay, there's a difficulty spike here, but the way they handle it is, don't forget there's all this other content to explore. This is a huge open world, and we want you to take a break from the main storyline and do other stuff.
Not go and do that dungeon that you just did again.
Yes, not run the desert until you hit the level.
Yeah. But that is actually madness that they have no, like nothing for you to technically do other than grind at that point.
That's the whole game, though. Really, right? Like the quests are just a break
They're a break
in between in between your grinding. Or at least once you get past 30, anyway.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you're trying to get to 60 in 2 days.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even do in the end. I got bored.
But then I guess the thing is like, why are you even playing this game?
I think a lot of people are asking themselves that.
Something to do while listening to audio.
Yeah.
And that for me is like a real niche that I need to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a 2-screen guy. I'll play a phone game and I'll have like something on Netflix.
Is this engaging? Is this an engaging enough second screen experience? Then is that basically what it is?
I think so.
It's honestly not that different from an idle game. It's
I do enjoy the combat though.
Yeah, the combat feels good, and it's a beautiful looking game, and the animations are fluid. But it's so shallow, and also it undermines its own it undermines the IP, like the whole Diablo theme. Okay, so let me talk about this a little bit. Diablo is about what? Other than from a story level, what's the story? About? Yeah.
It's about this demon always trying to get into the world and take over.
Yeah. Okay. And you are
some sort of hero guy that is always stopping them.
And you're the only one, right?
Yeah. I mean, they get even more into that in Diablo 3 because it turns out you are one of these like Nephilim types. So you are super special guy. Yeah.
So in Diablo Immortal, you're running around the world, and you constantly see like 40 other people. Doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's a World of Warcraft problem.
Yes,
it's a World of Warcraft problem where there were.
But it is the World of Warcraft problem, but also it isn't, because in the World of Warcraft they also pose it as like, there's a bunch of heroes out there and you need to work together to do the things.
Yes, but there were times in the World of Warcraft story where it was like, you were the hero of this.
Sure, yes.
And that is where things got weird, where it's like, you were the hero of this, you go through a special quest line, you get like the Ashbringer or something, and you're like, oh my, and it's supposed to be like there's only one of them.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is amazing.
People
and then you finish that thing and there's like, 14 other people standing around with the same thing.
Yeah.
That like literally just completed it.
Yeah, they just finished the same thing.
Yeah.
Diablo has also been a multiplayer game since 1.
Yes, but it's been a multiplayer game by choice. Until now, it has been a multiplayer game by choice. You opt into having people.
That is something
in your world.
That is something that did surprise me, that it was an MMO.
That really threw me as well.
Yeah,
because I didn't look at anything about this.
I did not expect to see other people grinding around in the graveyard with me, like at all.
It feels bad to me. It feels wrong.
Yeah, it does feel weird.
Because it's meant to be like a spooky world, and it completely undermines having all these other people grinding when you're competing for the monsters. To kill.
Well, there's also
the real
it's
thing,
so
right?
silly.
There's stuff where there was a quest where I was in this graveyard and I had to go to a certain person's house. And you go in there, and there's a mini little boss fight in there, and then you talk to that person. And as I was talking to that person, another player entered in and started fighting with something I couldn't see, and it was the boss
all the time. You know, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So they do this like phased kind of quest thing.
Yeah.
But they don't phase out the other players.
No.
And in fact, they don't even phase out the spell projectiles from the NPCs that are helping you. And like, so there's a part in that same area where you're like the guy who's helping you, I forget his name.
Yeah.
He's fighting some people on a bridge.
Yeah.
And if you go there, at that point in the quest line, and someone else is doing that part, you can see his projectiles flying at some invisible monster.
That's so weird.
But you can't see him or the monster.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like there's no. Does this game have like open world bosses? Like bosses that would require multiple people to fight.
Yes. Yeah,
just in the general world,
that
not in a
require
dungeon.
multiple people to fight.
Yeah.
No.
There's a spot in I don't remember the name of the place, but there's like lots of zombies and stuff around. There's like an altar there, and if you press the altar, it will summon a dude.
Yeah.
That requires probably at least 8 people to kill.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, I was there with just a bunch of randoms killing it, and it was hectic.
Huh. So those are
Even
the
with
only
just a bunch
times.
of
That's the
randoms.
only kind of reason for them to be like this MMO thing in the basic in the open world. Like
then-
in
Yeah, and
theme
you
it-
could have
theme
had
it
to
that
queue
way.
for that. And it
in
would have been
dungeons, yeah, yeah. Well, because in dungeons you have the option of partying with people. That like you could basically have the exact same game and maybe a better experience if that is the main multiplayer like engagement thing.
Yes.
Like you opt into a party. That's it. Or with the altar thing, maybe you click on that and it says, "Do you want to do the solo or do you want to do a party?"
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know?
Like you could.
Yeah.
That could totally have just been a dungeon.
Because
that would have been fine.
the only reason to have there's no actual reason then for like players to be running around the same area. Like, what benefit are they giving anyone?
I
The
don't
benefit is you get to see
Yeah, to see their shit.
their microtransactions if they've got them.
Well, here's the thing. Just like instance off the town.
I guess maybe
Why
there's
not just
some
do
people-
that?
I mean, you're quite right. But maybe there's some people who really like that. I don't know who
I
those
guess
people are.
maybe, but like
But to
ultimately
me-
you just ignore everyone.
You avoid them. Which
Yeah.
is what I found myself doing. I was
Right.
like, okay, all these people are killing the monsters. I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, it does. You're absolutely right that it does mess with the whole theme and
Yeah.
vibe of the place because
It's so
you're
silly.
going through a spooky cemetery
Yeah.
and there's just colorful people
there's
all
4
over
dudes
the
hanging
place.
out.
Yeah,
And because there's so many people in every area, it means that they need to make the respawn rate for all the packs super fast.
yeah.
So you can end up being that you can just run in circles, just killing the same
Oh my
things
God.
over and over
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
because they've got to respawn fast.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people around.
It's also the areas are small.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Like-
big areas at all.
Think about most action RPGs. You've got a bunch of different areas within a chapter. These are it's literally one area per chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised at how small
Yeah.
this was because I've been playing with that the footprints.
Yeah.
I deselect my quest so that gets turned off
Yeah.
because I wanted to explore around, and there was that quest was like, okay, go to this person's house. Her house is up the road.
Yeah.
I went up the road for ages and then was like, where is this like thing? And I was just like going into areas that were like a couple levels
can't-
higher than me and stuff. And I'm like,
You can't navigate that world without those steps because it's so poorly
Yeah.
communicated.
it really is like, because you know how I'm always talking about like, I want the world
Yes.
to tell me where to go.
Yeah.
That
No,
game
they
doesn't
had
really-
to put the steps in.
Yeah, that
because
game doesn't really tell
literally
you that.
You can't do it.
Yeah. And then when I had to turn the steps on to find out where to go, and I was like, it's like, it's just across in the graveyard. It's not even up a road.
No.
Like there's a road nowhere near it.
Yeah.
So why did the character say she's down the road when she's not?
Yep.
He should have said that she's like 10 feet away from this.
She's in this
space.
house. Let me show you where it is.
Yeah.
It points. Also, any quest where you have to follow, but you can move faster than the character you're meant to be following.
Dude, isn't that like
Ugh.
isn't that but at this point, isn't that a well-known annoyance
Yeah.
in every single game if there's
Yeah.
where the character is like what, faster than your walking speed but slower than your running
Well,
speed.
the worst
Yeah.
is if you know where they're going and you know
Oh,
and
right.
you want to go. They should just handle that and be like, okay, teleport the character there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Instead, you have to go. I made the mistake of going to the place where they were going to go,
Waiting.
and they hadn't moved at all yet, and so I had to go all the way back to just
Yep.
start them moving to progress the quest. It was so annoying.
I had one earlier today where you have to follow the dude and he moves like 10 meters and that was it. Like they just put it in there. It's just
What?
like you've got to follow the dude, but he just moves. Honestly, it was like
What?
5 character steps or
Yeah.
something.
Jesus.
It was so important that I followed him though. It was a whole step in the quest.
Literally.
So basically, game of the year, worth the wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I don't know.
How long were they working on this for? So, a really long time. And look, it's not to say it's not polished, because it's like it is beautiful.
It does look
looking.
quite nice.
It feels good.
A lot of the interacting with quests and stuff is clunky though.
Yes.
If you skip a lot of dialogue, there is still a 5 to 10 second period where it
doing animations and stuff.
and it just
character has
needs
to
to
walk over to a
think about
location.
it for a while before
Yeah.
it gives you the next step of the chain, which I
Yeah.
noticed a lot because I didn't give a shit about the story.
Yeah.
So I was just skipping it. And each time I'd still need to wait 5 to 10 seconds for it to update and realize that I'd even skipped the dialogue.
Yeah. And you're not really missing out on anything. All the characters in that game are disposable. Like, they literally kill most of the characters you talk to. And they try and make it emotional, but you've known them for 10 seconds, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know any of them.
They could oh man, they could have done a thing where like they introduce some characters and then in Diablo 4 those characters appear as well. And
Maybe
so people who had played Immortal could be like, "Oh, I know this character." It's like
Hey, maybe they.
it's basically
maybe they
like
did.
watching a Disney Plus series and then watching a movie of a Marvel movie and going, "Oh, that character."
Yeah, it's weird to me, especially given that Diablo 4 is sort of floating on the horizon in some capacity.
Yeah.
Some of the choices they made for this game, because they went with the Diablo 3 art style. They made it really, really, really simple to play. Like, they made all the systems really simple. They made gear really simple. Like, gear has two stats, two attributes, and then maybe one stat, like attack speed or something.
Yeah.
Like that. And all these values.
I would say it has one stat. It's just the green arrow. That's the only stat you care about.
And then like Diablo 4 is meant to be sort of going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So why even
Yeah.
call this a Diablo game?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
what name brand are you trading on here? Like,
Or have it somehow connect to Diablo 4 in some way.
maybe they have. We just don't know yet.
Maybe they haven't. We just don't know. But
it's just it looks different.
yeah,
The systems are different.
there's
The
something
goals are
about
different.
there's something about as well. Just like seeing Deckard Cain again, doing like
Didn't he die?
I'm pretty sure he did.
yeah, but
Yeah,
this is
didn't pay a
probably
lot
a
of
prequel. Then
attention to-
this is probably a prequel.
Well, then what's again? You've completely undermined the stakes.
Mm.
We already know everything's fine.
Yeah, but like using Deckard Cain again, it has this feeling like, oh, we can't make a Diablo game without Deckard Cain. He has
gonna
to be
have to.
there. He has to be there.
It must always. It's not. This is not Zelda where there's always a Link and always a Zelda.
Yeah.
There's always a deck.
I'm into like there's got so like what are they gonna do in 4? Because they seem to have set it up where you expect a Deckard Cain in every game, but then when he's not there, there'll be some other old guy, and you'll be like, "You're not my Deckard Cain."
I'm Dreckard Schmain.
Yeah. Oh, it turns out he had a twin, and that Deckard Cain had been telling him all about you. So it's as if like he already knows you, so that you don't even have to get to know him.
But also, you're a different character.
yeah. Also, you
Don't have
can't
any of that
Did they
continuity.
explain at all how he's still alive or anything? If you did pay attention to the story?
No.
I think
No.
it's. I just assumed it was a prequel.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah.
I think it has to be somewhere before his death in that timeline. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
He's just in another town. He's not right. Like he's not in the same town as he was in
Yeah,
3.
it's not Tristram, right?
No, but
It's Westmarch or whatever.
Yeah, West
Yeah.
March.
So,
interested in Diablo 4?
huh?
Interested in Diablo 4?
I keep an eye on it.
I feel like
Mostly out of curiosity.
because they're gonna have this open world, right, with like open world boss
That's
fights and
certainly
stuff.
the way
So they're also probably gonna have all these human players running around.
It's plausible, yeah. And I think it would be a huge mistake.
Hmm.
Like all of the press stuff we've seen is just one character,
Yeah, I know, but
Sorry.
like,
it is entirely plausible. It'll be 40 shiny people.
but they
running
did say
hope
there'd
I
be
can
these
play it on my
open.
phone.
No, they did. I'm sure they did show an open world boss fight with multiple people.
Maybe. They've talked a little bit about their gear and progression systems.
Yeah.
And they're going much more in a PoE direction than,
Well, that's
than
cool.
a Diablo 3 direction.
That's exciting. I don't want to see a green arrow anymore.
They probably will stop with Green Arrow. It's a Blizzard game.
I think it's a mistake.
I don't
Then
disagree.
all you care about is that you're just making the stats irrelevant
Yep.
because people will see the green arrow and just go that one.
I mean, there could be an argument that like an expert player knows to look past the Green Arrow,
Yeah.
and they're looking if you're making a specific build, there's specific things you want to
Yeah.
use.
I
and you look for those
suppose.
specific things.
Yeah.
But the problem, at least with the Immortal, is there is not enough stat variety
Mm.
for that to be the case. It is you've got your attributes, and then you've got your one stat
Yeah.
And
I suppose
I don't
with
know.
Diablo 3, didn't it show arrows per stat? I think.
Maybe
I'm pretty sure it did that. Whereas this is just overall.
just one arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
So
just has a little
I can
squirt, right?
I can see that being a helpful thing where you're just like, okay, this is got more strength than you currently have,
Yep.
but it's got less int, but it's got more dex or
Sure.
something like that. But in my experience with Diablo 3, I still just equip the thing that has the most green arrows.
Yeah. Or the most of the thing that you care about.
Yeah.
It's probably
yeah.
damage or health.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, just damage and health in this game.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
I guess there's armor, but like, I mean, there are other stats, but basically it's just damage and health. Like,
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
like I did find that there is armor because you can also get armor penetration.
Yes, but only on
all
a
these things
gem.
are from gems.
It might not
it's not on
exist
gear.
anywhere outside of
Yeah,
gems.
It's such a weird. I'm playing a barbarian and I'm equipping shoulder pads.
Yeah.
That give me damage. What?
Pointy shoulder
What?
pads.
It's just really weird. And by the way, my shield slot, only weapons.
Only weapons.
Only weapons as a barbarian, but the icon's
Ah.
still a shield.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Um,
It would be fun as a barbarian. You could equip the shield, but it doesn't. You actually use it as a weapon, so it's basically a fist weapon. Like
Yeah, that
they
would be
just they
cool.
just use shields differently.
Or you wear it as a hat.
Yeah.
Like a giant hat.
In
I want to see you attacking with your shoulders.
yeah.
Me too.
You're just
I haven't
shoulder
seen it yet.
barging everyone. In Elden Ring, you can equip 2 shields and use them both as like a weapon.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Diablo Immortal.
Oh.
Well done. We haven't even talked about monetization, really.
No, could I just quickly say one thing first?
Oh yeah.
Is that, you know how I was saying that all the white, blue, and yellow items become redundant?
Yeah.
And don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So for the first 90% of what I played, I had auto pickup on.
Yeah.
And it was auto picking up everything. My inventory kept getting cluttered.
Yep.
Because I'd have no green arrows, so I'd just go to the vendor and empty my inventory.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'll turn off the pickup auto pickup white
Yeah.
items because it's annoying. And then I kept playing, and it turns out for some reason, there's some mechanic in the game where if you didn't pick something up,
It'll
the game will mail
it
it to you.
Yeah.
So I intentionally made a decision to stop picking up white items.
Yeah.
Wow. So it just
And now I just keep getting mail
Yeah.
in game
yeah.
Yeah.
with white items in it.
I
And it's
noticed
only white items.
I noticed that when I had a full inventory, and would because I had auto pickup on as well,
Yeah.
full inventory, and still picking up items, and I think it does pop up
I think
in
it goes
something
to your mail, right?
that says like, oh, we've sent this to you, like we sent this to you, and when I got back to town, or not even in town, it's just through a menu, right? Like there's no actual
there's just a
mailbox
mail
or anything.
thing. You
Yeah.
open it-
So when I was scrapping everything, I was like, what the hell? I've got like mail.
here's something you left behind.
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
So this
I
ties
wanted
into
to.
what I wanted to mention, which is the microtransaction stuff. You can get more storage temporarily.
Temporarily.
So in my opinion, one of the most heinous things about the much talked about microtransaction system is that a lot of the things you can buy are temporary or conditional.
Wow.
So you can buy you when you log in, you can get like daily prizes, and you can buy a thing that gives you additional daily login rewards, but only if you log in. So you can buy a thing
Yep.
where it's like your login rewards will get better,
Mm,
and if you don't log in, you don't get the reward.
right.
So you're paying Blizzard to make you log into their game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's fun. But then you can also get some perks for like 30 days, and some of those perks are like storage, and so you can
So I
you can get more storage
what
for
happens?
a little while.
What happens if your storage is full and then you run out of your storage subscription?
I
Do they
assume
just mail you
whatever gets kicked
Yeah.
out of your storage.
But do you
It's
even
just-
need more storage if they're just going to mail you everything
No,
you didn't pick up
it
anyway?
seems bizarre. The whole
Yeah, the
whole
storage
thing
is just
seems
your
like-
mail then.
Yeah. well,
Like, why even bother?
I don't know.
Maybe
there
you
were, like,
maybe you run out of
30
mailroom and you can
You
pay to get more
can
mail
temporarily
Oh,
get
no.
more mail.
for a day.
I'm pretty sure
or
there is a max amount of
Oh.
mail you can have.
What happens then?
They mail you about your mail.
Yeah.
It's just
That's the
seeded
second
mail.
tier
It's
of
just
mail.
Dickhead Kane turns up with boxes.
nested mail and mail and mail. It's a babushka doll
Yep.
of UI.
It's like those emails that you get that are just nested a
Yeah.
bunch of like conversation.
Yeah, it's RE.
Yeah.
Here's your helmet. So yeah, that's Diablo Immortal. I think we can all agree. It's like a real polished, dumb thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That I don't know, man. Like, I knowing going into it, I expect it's a mobile game, so there's going to be a lot of like monetization, but it really does just like bounce me off it so fast when that stuff is like just in your face and there's like glowing things around the place saying claim this.
Yeah,
You click on it, don't even know what I'm claiming, don't even know what it does.
yeah.
Like,
It's quite common for these types of mobile games to have rewards out the wazoo, and they're all over the place.
yeah.
So like Pokemon Unite, which I played quite a lot of, had the same thing where it was like you'd have daily quests, and then you'd have login rewards, and then you'd
Yeah.
have like player rating rewards, and then you'd have like events, and then you'd
Yeah.
have like rank rewards,
Yeah.
and all of these
There's
things are in
a-
different locations, and so you'd play a match, and then you get like 5 different red dots appearing on the
Jesus.
UI, and you'd
Yeah.
have to go through.
It's like I get it. It's to try to hook players into continuing to log in and do their dailies.
But the thing that I find annoying and kind of obnoxious about it is the fact that it requires you to navigate the UI like this.
Mm.
Like if I get a reward, just make it pop up.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah.
if I log in and there's like a login reward, have
Mm.
that pop up first thing. Be
Yeah.
like, here's your login reward.
Mm.
There's like a first kill reward. It should be like, okay, you
Mm.
kill, and the next time you go to your inventory, the thing that pops up is your first
Mm.
kill reward or whatever. I don't want to have to go into the shop UI and then go into a sub UI.
Yeah, but you need to see what you could.
You,
Then
I
you need to
sort of,
see
but then
what
there's
you
like
could get.
it's like the whole achievement rewards things.
It's
like
this is exactly like how supermarkets are set up, where you just want your bread and milk, but they're on opposite ends of the supermarket, forcing you to walk all the way through all the stuff that you could get. Oh my God, look at all this stuff.
that argument.
Maybe
works
you
for
do
some
need a
of
Kit
these-
Kat.
but okay, then there's like the battle pass point things where it's like you get points for doing quests or whatever, like
Yeah.
making progress with the game. But then there's like points for your gear
Hmm.
tier. And then
Yep.
there's like points for your PvP gear tier, which I've never done PvP, but you get separate points for
Yeah.
that shit.
And
And then you get points for like exploring an area, and these are all in separate nested menus.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
so-
clicking claim on them increases your battle pass, which is important though, because once your battle pass levels up, it's like the most XP you get.
Yeah.
If you're grinding stuff, that battle pass leveling
Sure,
up is the
and-
most
The
and
battle,
XP.
is everyone got a battle pass?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a
the
free-
See,
thing.
this is the thing. I don't even
And
know
there's
what that is.
There's also a
I'm
paid
claiming
battle
heaps of
pass.
stuff. I have
Yeah, there
literally
is.
no idea what any of this stuff does.
So dumb.
I'm just clicking on glowing buttons.
Yeah, it's just always where's the red dot.
Yeah,
Find
just
the red
click
dot
it.
reward.
yeah.
There's also a first claim or first complete or something reward. I just mentioned it before the podcast. It's got maybe something to do with the rifts. But
Oh, I know what
literally-
you're talking about.
I don't know how or why.
I think it's that someone else on the server has done a thing that no one's done yet. And for some reason everyone just gets some gold about
But
it.
the thing is, I don't know what
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Is it the highest rift tier? Is it?
I think it's the challenge things. I think it's the challenge rifts.
I guess.
I think that's what it says in
Okay.
the I'm making some big assumptions.
Maybe.
I don't know,
Man.
You might be right.
but you get some gold about it.
Whenever someone is the first person to do a thing, you get some coins and hilts.
Yeah.
Hilts, by the way, bad currency name.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
sound like sword hilts.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what a hilt is. Like,
What does
What?
the currency look like?
looks like a coin.
What?
It's a coin with.
I was
with
just
two-
imagining a bag of like
It's
sword
got-
hilts.
Two is a coin with
That you
two
can trade
crossed
in for
swords. on-
gems.
Bad.
Oh man. You guys gonna keep playing?
You know what? I probably will.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to play more of it.
I want to finish the story.
Yep.
I am curious. Look, as a game designer, I'm curious about the remaining systems and like what sort of the long term implications of some of these systems are. and like the rate of progress as a free player.
Yeah.
I already kind of get an idea of what the rate of progress as a paid player is. I know as a free player, it's very slow.
Yeah, I just remembered something else that's like
Okay.
kind of hilarious.
Hit me.
Have you seen any of the stuff about the actual factions?
No.
There's factions.
There's factions. There's the Shadows and the Immortals.
Oh.
And when you hit level 60,
Yeah.
you got to pick a faction. I think
What?
maybe, but you get a quest to go. You get a quest to go to this tavern and talk to this dude. And the first thing he says is, 426 people in the queue have joined the lottery today. You'll need to come back tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, so I hit level 60. I get this quest. I go to this tavern. And
it's like, sorry,
there's
slow.
too many people in the server have joined the lottery to join the faction today.
What?
That's so bizarre.
And then, like, the number kept going up. The next day, it was like
Of
700 and something. Somehow
What?
I actually.
What the hell?
The thing is, I didn't get like a lot of experience with this because I just happened to like win the next day.
Oh, okay.
So I actually got into the thing, like the
Okay,
faction.
so you're in the faction. You won the faction.
and the
lottery.
faction unlocks all this shit that you can do at level 60.
Oh, wow.
A whole like
But it's a lotto
So
to
you
get
a
in.
whole bunch of stuff
feasibly,
have not won.
you can feasibly get to the level cap and be like, okay, what else is there to do in game? I'll join this faction. Oh, I can't do it.
Well, which was my first
I
experience.
guess I'm done with this game.
Unless they're like, this will hook them into coming back every day to see if they can get into this faction, which is a faction you don't know up front what it does.
Yeah.
Can you change factions?
I think
another lotto for that.
It's also like heavily tied with clans and stuff. The game really keeps trying to get me to join a dark clan now that I joined the Shadows and
More like a
But
dork clan.
What was
am I right, guys?
clan? What was the clan? Because
Shadows.
no, but
Oh.
what was the? Because guild is like players, right?
I mean,
Clan's
everything's
the
players.
big one. Clan's the a whole bunch. I think up to 100 people.
Yeah,
And
so
Oh,
it's
ba-
a
okay.
basically a guild, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
clan is
But-
guild,
But then you've got your war band,
right?
which
Okay,
is
I
8
see.
people.
Yeah. I get it.
And then
I
you've got
get
your party, which is 4 people.
Yep.
And then you've got the way I play, which is by myself. And that's
Yep.
the best way.
It's the best way. Clan of one.
Yep.
I actually thought about doing that. Just
Maybe.
making an actual clan so that I stopped getting the message to join a clan.
Maybe.
So I got like a quest to.
Let's
Yeah.
just make a clan. Let's all 3 be in a clan.
Unless it's like unless you have to have
Oh.
multiple people in a.
So the thing is, I can't join a clan unless it's a dark clan or I stop being part of the Shadows.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
This is a thing.
Yeah, I think so.
So, okay.
And
let's
you
say
need
you,
one token per person to convert a clan from a regular clan to a shadow clan.
wow.
So those ones that have 100 people need 100 tokens, which they can only get. You get 2 if you win the lottery.
Wow.
Holy shit! So, oh my god.
So let me put it this way: you can about halfway through the game, they're like, "Hey, make a clan; it'll be fun." And then at the end of the game, they're like, "Psych, disband your clan because you have to. Everyone has to
Yeah.
be one side or the other."
Sure that.
So
Wow.
also they've decided like, how about at endgame we just gate it by not by gear, not by level, but
Just
by a
luck.
lotto.
yeah.
Let's just gate endgame content with a lottery.
I mean, to be fair,
Let's do that.
the whole game is masked gambling. They've just taken the mask off for that one step.
Yeah.
Like
That was left exposed. And
It's
they're just
literally-
like, oh no, we need
loot drops. Loot drops are random.
Yeah.
Whether or not you get legendary gems from putting all of your crests in a Elder Rift, that's random.
Hmm.
What runes you
Mm.
get is random. So like all of your progression is gated by randomness.
Yeah.
It's just this is the most clear case of it.
That's amazing that at that point they didn't even
That's
try
why
to like
bother?
flavor
Yeah,
text it
it's
in,
fine.
in any way. They're just
It
like,
also has you get like a bonus chest if your faction is currently winning when you do rifts.
Winning
So
what?
yeah,
There's like
yeah. When they-
huge benefits to being a part of the Shadows that you've got to win the lottery to
oh
join.
my god.
Oh boy.
You know what they're missing out? Selling stuff that could increase your chance
Your
of
chance.
of winning the lotto.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't gotten that far. It might exist.
Maybe they've got like, buy a pack of 10 lotto tickets for this for this end game like gated
Wouldn't
thing.
surprise me. All right, we are out of time though. I was gonna talk about an idle game I've been playing, but
We'll talk
I've
about it
talked
next
enough
time.
idle games.
Yeah. I was going to talk about a game as well, but we can leave it for next time.
It was an early access game, wasn't it?
It's an early access survival game.
Yeah, it's V-Rising.
Surprise.
We'll talk about it next time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Nick.
If you got questions, email forensicquestions@gmail.com. I don't think we got any questions this week, so we will love to hear from you. And we'll be back in a couple weeks. Bye.
Could you have a skill that you fire a portal, right? And it sucks the enemies in, and you get the loot from them, whatever. But then at random times, a portal just opens and those enemies come pouring out. So you can go through a map or whatever, clear it, get their loot, and then I don't know, 3 maps later, a portal just opens up, and the enemies come flying out. But they don't have any. Their loot is already gone, so they're just like, I don't know, free.
Yeah, to ruin your day.
So it's just a bad experience for the player.
Yeah.
Okay, fun.
But it'd be great. You could be going through something, and then suddenly multiple of these portals pop up that you've been using throughout the game, and they just start pouring out enemies.
So you go, okay, I'm not using that skill anymore.
No, that sounds great. That sounds great.
There's so many problems with that skill.
Maybe the enemies come out.
Just from an implementation standpoint, they have to store that data somewhere.
Yeah,
across
right.
instances.
Okay, maybe they come out dead.
Just
So
jam
they
it
just
in a league account.
maybe
It's fun.
maybe the enemies just come out dead, so that they're already dead. And then you can combine that with corpse explosion. So every once in a while, you just get a pile of corpses thrown at you.
But you have no control over it.
You have no
So
control over it.
usually you just get a pile of corpses in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, you could just like.
Not only that, you're also using a skill. You're using corpse explosion in your setup, but you don't get the corpses when you need them. Like when you're fighting the monsters, you're putting them into a portal, and they don't have any corpses, so you've got corpse explosion. You don't.
But here's the thing: the
It'll
more
be really useful sometimes.
Yeah,
maybe.
sometimes it'll be incredibly useful. Like you could be fighting a boss and like multiple
boy.
portals could just pop up and you're like, oh, here we go.
Oh boy. You know what?
Or
I like it.
really,
You're on the design team now, Blake.
Thank you.
Officially.
Yes.
I have no say in this, but
But
you're on
really,
the design
it's like
team
the
now.
more you use it, the more random portals you'll get. You know, so you just use you're incentivized to use it constantly, so that you can just constantly have old portals popping up and
what
spewing.
if there was a skill that produced corpses instead, just out of nowhere?
I don't know how we
There is
can
one
do
of
that.
those.
There's multiple.
What's the other one? I was thinking of Desecrate.
Yeah, there's Desecrate. There's also I forget if it's called Bone Spear or but it's the one where you shoot bone missiles, bone projectiles, and where they land, they leave
I
skeleton
don't
corpses.
think it'll be called
Huh.
Bone Spear, unless they're fine with copying Diablo 2 that
probably isn't.
that
Yeah,
much.
it's probably not Bone Spear.
Impale? No,
Mm.
not Impale. Probably.
Bone Javelin. It's probably that one. Completely different.
So, yeah.
to-
Bone,
yeah.
osseous stick.
Yep. Large bone dart.
Yeah, that's what I call it. All right.